Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Linda Dick, and I'm one of the many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 17, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either a donation or by volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639 or at nactv@wcgwave.ca. And today I'll be reading the Neepawa Banner and Press for Friday, December 9th, 2022. And we start off with Holiday Cheer Rolls into Town. The start of the holiday season can officially be marked as the holiday train has been making stops in the area recently. One of the recent stops was in Carberry, where a large crowd gathered to enjoy the entertainment. On December the 12th, at the Neepawa Egg Complex, they're offering black and red Angus purebred and commercial bred heifers and heifers cows. This is a sister sale, and it's sponsored by Madsen Angus, Tom and Alana Madsen, Jazz Red Angus, Doug and Jason McLaren, and Camo Cattle Corporation, Cam Tibbet and family. Sister sale on December 12th. Casper Wareham has put in this article. The Plaque presentation will honor instrumental medical clinic developers. A meaningful celebration will be held at the Beautiful Plains Community Medical Clinic this week. On December 9th, the date of this week's paper, at 6 p.m., 2 plaques honoring Dr. George Ong and Arnie Susky will be presented. It's going to be a small gathering honoring 2 people who have devoted so much time to developing this clinic, said John Nelson. He's the Neepawa Citizen Representative on the Neepawa and District Community Medical Committee. Nelson added, Dr. Ong has advised us through many stages of the clinic's development and is retiring after 50 years of practice. The late Arnie Susky was an original member of our committee and was committee chair for many years. We miss the wonderful leadership and on-site help he provided. The small celebration is intended to honor both individuals and all they have done for the clinic and the community in a respectful manner. And Carberry is chilly but cheery. Many braved the cold in Carberry recently for the community's annual Santa Parade this month. Pictured above, students and teachers from the Carberry Collegiate were bundled up on their float. And we have a thank you from the 25th anniversary Little Valley Jamboree. We are very humbled by the support the Little Valley Jamboree has received in this our 25th anniversary year. With the support of all donors and Jamboree supporters, we were able to give over $52,000 to this year's recipients, split between Kane Burgess, Matthew Maxwell, Wyatt Bouchard, and Aria and Bree Hall. We thank all sponsors, donors, and volunteers. We couldn't do this without you. Special thanks to the Jam Committee that keeps everything running smoothly. Huge thanks to Tyler Glenn and Cam Bennett, who were beyond amazing hosts. Lastly, a big thanks to the bands that volunteered their time and talent. The Lazy Creek Express, Stephen Smith Trio, the Chapmans, the McKillops, Matt Corey and Cy Arthurson, Better Than, Valley Women, Crossfire, No Maintenance, Smith and Wesson, and the Aberdeen Turkeys. If we've missed anyone, we apologize. Our sincere thanks. We hope to see you all again next year. The Little Valley Jamboree Committee. And reading back, Looking Back by Casper Wareham, 20 years ago on Monday, December 9th, 2002. A proposal by the Neepawa and Area Development Corporation to develop low-cost housing and community daycare at a cost of nearly $900,000 is being met with mixed reaction from the sector it is intended to serve. While some business owners said a daycare would help them attract and possibly retain employees, the housing project has been greeted with far less enthusiasm. The Central Manitoba Regional Health Authority is working on an agreement to restore emergency services to Gladstone's 7 Regions Health Centre on a part-time basis. Peter Cottingham of Neepawa is the latest recipient of a commemorative medal for the Queen's Golden Jubilee. The medal recognizes long-time community service. 2 other Neepawa residents, Homer Gill and Eleanor Nicholson, received commemorative medals in October. And playing at the Roxy Theatre on December 15th, showtime 7:30 p.m., free admission to Emily the Little Match Girl. This 2021 animated film is an adaptation of the classic Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Little Match Girl. And highlights of the week by NACTV, Coraliers and Friends, Community Christmas, will be on the TV on December 18th at 8 o'clock p.m. The Holiday Train will be featured December 13th at 5:30 p.m., December 15th at 3 o'clock, and December 18th at 12 noon. NACI Bingo Jackpot is now over $14,000. Play Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. and get your $12 bingo packages at NACI TV office, Harris Pharmacy, Neepawa Legion, and the Tim Tam store. Bingo cards can also be mailed directly to your home. Contact NACI TV to receive them weekly or monthly. Right in the Middle by Ken Waddell. I find it interesting that there are 10 truckloads of lava per second coming out of the Mauna Loa volcano in Hawaii. Wonder what that does to warming up the atmosphere and to the carbon levels. Guess everyone has to shut down their furnaces in Canada to compensate for the Hawaii volcano. There are 1,350 active volcanoes in the world, plus a bunch more under the oceans. Just love how some people rail against the use of oil, but don't seem to want to shut down the gas line to their home or office. It's pretty simple to shut off the gas meter, but it's a lot easier to complain about farmers fueling their tractors to grow food. It was drawn to my attention that Prime Minister Trudeau said he would seize guns, but has backed off a bit now by saying he didn't mean hunters' guns. I am personally sick and tired of Trudeau and this whole gun debate. It has been going on for decades, has solved nothing, cost millions of dollars, and crime is still climbing. If a person commits a violent crime with a gun, put them in jail forever. It would cost less and be more effective. It was good to hear that a recent assault in Winnipeg on a woman was thwarted when the victim killed the assailant. It has been deemed self-defense. Too bad that doesn't happen more often. Seems that Montreal Canadiens goaltender Carey Price is in hot water for posting a picture of himself in hunting gear and holding a rifle. The timing was a bit awkward as it was on December 6, 32 years ago, that the tragic Montreal massacre took place. Just to refresh memories, here is what is posted on the web about that event. Perpetrator Mark Lepine, armed with a legally obtained Ruger Mini 14 semi-automatic rifle and hunting knife, entered a mechanical engineering class at the École Polytechnique. He ordered the women to one side of the classroom and instructed the men to leave. After claiming that he was fighting feminism, he shot all 9 women in the room, killing 6. The shooter then moved through corridors, the cafeteria, and other classrooms, specifically targeting women, to shoot for just under 20 minutes. He killed 8 more women before committing suicide. After that event, the federal government embarked on a huge gun control effort that cost millions and has accomplished little. Isn't it strange that Lepine purchased the gun legally and that he was able to convince the men to leave? People intent on evil will get guns, legally or otherwise, and attempt whatever evil action enters their minds. Seems to me that while spanking children isn't in fashion anymore, and maybe with good reason, that children should be afraid that they might get spanked. Maybe Lepine needed some more love when he was a kid, or maybe more discipline. I don't know, of course. All this negative stuff said, my wife and I are out and about in the community a lot, and we see and interact with people of all ages. We must say that most young people are excellent with us, respectful and friendly. They have learned proper public behavior very well, and it is wonderful to see. I feel sorry for people who work in the schools and daycares, as some of the rules and regulations and bad behavior they have to put up with is atrocious. Just talk to any person in that field quietly and privately, and you will see what I mean. What all this boils down to is that the government needs to take a step back and understand that more rules doesn't always mean better results. And what's usually Homebodies by Rita Friesen, we have a guest column. Josh Casson is a 30-something living and working in Brandon. He is compassionate, creative, a deep thinker, and a valued friend. One of the Advent candles we light symbolizes hope. Knowing and listening to and learning from young people gives me hope. I trust that his words encourage you as much as they do me. So, by Josh Casson. With the ever-growing partisan nature of our citizen politics dividing us among polarizing lines of thought, the desire to reach a common ground between differing political ideologies becomes tantalizing if seemingly out of reach. One such line in the sand is that of the idea of personal responsibility. The answer to the question, who is responsible for one's own problems differs depending on the left-right split. Our socialist brethren seem to put more onus on society and the state, whereas those of a neoconservative libertarian sway argues the individual has the sole burden. Now, if we were to take both extremes to task, both seem almost equally wrong to apply to all human situations. The problem of war, famine, or economic instability cannot be placed upon a single individual, whereas also the choices to commit crime, provide for oneself, or engage civically are not solely up to our socio-economic environment. This is at least how it feels, and we are always at least partially correct. The partiality in our correctness is where the battle lines get drawn. Can we acknowledge that some aspects of our existence are either more within our control, less within our control, or perhaps a fluctuating mixture of both? Is it possible to understand that we cannot fully comprehend each internal and external force that could affect a person's life? Is it possible that each force affects a person in different measures? If every person could come from their side of the House of Commons and say with each other, a person is responsible for themselves, and their society is responsible for them as well. Sometimes it is hard to define which affects a person more. Then wouldn't that help us so much? No longer do we have to worry about if someone's freedom to have a gun is hurting another person, how someone's drug addiction is using up too many of our already overburdened health resources, how our tax dollars are making up a disproportionate amount of a budget we don't agree with, or how the other side just doesn't get it. Our lives are complicated. Systemic privileges exist. We make objectively good and bad choices. The grass is not always greener, and we don't always need to keep up with the Joneses. There are things within our control and things not within our control. Let us then try to at least agree on which of things are true for all and what things we just cannot justifiably know about everyone. Let us do the work, keep an open mind, and talk to people who come from a life that we have little knowledge about. We will have disagreements, but that's what having a plurality is all about. The freedom to disagree until we can figure out where the responsibility lies. Observation by Addie Oberlin. Gladstone's Glory Years Update, Hattie's Humble Home. And there's a picture here. The Banner and Press ran this photo in the November 18th edition, all but from a different source, the Gladstone Glory Years book series made by the Gladstone Age Press. There unfortunately had not been much information available aside from it being taken in 1905. Thanks is given to Carol Bengelli of Erickson area for bringing in this version of the photo with additional details. Pengelly found the photo, which depicts her father's side of the family, the Cathcarts, in a book titled Memories of Home, 1882 to 1982. The names of those pictured were written in the book as Hattie, the child sitting on the far left, Grandma Harriet Hayes, Eleanor and Laura are being held, little Eleanor standing in front of Eleanor and Laura, and David. Eleanor was Carol's great-grandmother, little Eleanor her grandma, and David, her great-grandfather. David lived from 1876 to 1927, and Eleanor from 1877 to 1967. Grandma Hayes was first Grandma Cathcart, then Grandma Lobb, as she remarried twice. Your Listening Ear by Delcy Martin, Making Holiday Memories. No matter what tradition or culture you come from, or what holiday you connect with, there are essential elements about the holidays that tie them all together. First and foremost is the focus on family. Now, of course, the definition of family depends on the person, but the idea of connecting to your family in an intentional way is key. Food is also a commonality amongst most cultural traditions. Take a moment and think about a food that is special to you at the holidays. Can you picture it? Can you smell it? I bet that you can. I bet you can almost taste it. Food is a very powerful connector to our memories, and the two pathways in the brain are strongly linked. So, linking all of these traditions together, we have family, food, connection, spirit, and what else? The most important, giving. Our holiday traditions involve us giving something of ourselves to others. Emotional connection is a huge gift that is totally underrated. When Grandma shares a story with the kids about her childhood traditions, this is a gift of memories that lasts for generations. When parents share stories with their children of their favorite holiday traditions, this too is a gift. The holidays help us to create shared meaning with our intimate partners. Dr. John Gottman says that shared meaning is created when couples engage in rituals, goals, and symbols. Shared meaning is about the meaning that you give those special moments in your life and how you honor them every year forward. Maybe your shared meaning is sharing hot chocolate with your loved one in front of a roaring fire. Maybe it's dressing in matching Christmas onesies, and maybe it's taking a trip to a place where it doesn't physically hurt to breathe the air in winter. You do you when you create the magic of the season. The magic of the holidays that I speak of is not dependent on presents, but a focus on presents is normal for kids. It's easy for kids to identify with the concept of presents because it's a tangible thing. Kids have trouble with abstract concepts like joy, connection, or spirit. These are things that adults associate with Christmas because we have a lot of maturity to learn it and the brain capacity to understand it. Kids may seem selfish on their focus on presents, but it's more a reflection of their development than their morality. We can introduce our children to the abstract concepts surrounding the holidays by focusing on the concept of giving and charity. The magic can be in the form of music, food, game nights, hugs, kisses, silly jokes, and genuine connection. These are things we can pass on to our children. Holiday celebrations don't have to be big things. Studies show that even the seemingly smallest family traditions matter just as much as the big events. I'm going to be taking a break from my holiday season and returning in January with more mental and relationship wellness topics. Like this column? Do you have topics you'd like me to cover in the new year? Is there a specific question you would like me to answer for you? anonymously in the column. I value input and invite you to reach out to me at DelseyMartin at TRUEYOU Therapy. TrueYouTherapy.ca. Now I'm going to move on to Helen Drysdale's Out of Helen's Kitchen, Cranberries and Chicken. Cranberries are native only to North America. There are only 3 commercially grown crops that can make this claim: cranberries, blueberries, and Concord grapes. This amazing tart berry pairs well with turkey and chicken dishes, and that is why it is a staple on holiday tables. So try this festive recipe for your loved ones. And it is baked cranberry chicken. And the entire recipe and all the ingredients and how to do it is on page 6 of this paper. Now submitted by the Roxy Theatre Board, get into the holiday spirit with the Roxy Theatre. On Thursday, December 15th, the Roxy Board is inviting the community to get into the Christmas spirit and cross a few things off their list. Starting at 6:30 p.m., we will open the theater to offer gift card sales, pick up a movie poster, or purchase some gift baskets that we have put together. At 7:30, we will be hosting a free movie with concession available for purchase. We are very excited to be able to show Emily, the Little Match Girl. This 2021 animated film is an adaptation of the classic Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. While it is a UK production, it has a neat local connection. Writer and director Matthew Higginbottom spent time in Neepawa in 2015 filming the Amityville Playhouse, which was filmed at the Roxy. Since its release, Emily has been recognized with awards for its screenplay and music, and it carries a U rating, which indicates it's suitable for all audiences. Shopping will start at 6:30. We will have gift cards as well as gift baskets available for purchase. We're also opening our poster room for the movie buffs on your Christmas list. A donation to the theater will give you pick of the posters which date back to 2017. Mazier's Internet Bill passes the vote by Owen Devereaux. A significant piece of federal legislation led by Dan Mazier has passed a major hurdle in Ottawa. Bill C-288, which would amend the Telecommunications Act, recently received second reading in Parliament. After some discussion on the floor, it received all-party support from MPs on both sides of the aisle. The Act, if fully approved, would require Canadian internet companies to provide accurate and transparent information to customers regarding the internet services they pay for. This legislation was first introduced by Mazier, the MP for Dauphin Swan River, Neepawa, back in June. Mazier said via media release that he was very pleased with the universal support C-22 has received so far. He added this is an important piece of legislation for Canadian consumers. Connectivity is essential to the safety of our communities, to the economic growth of rural regions, and to the accessibility of services like education and health care. Canadians should know what they are paying for before they purchase an internet service, not after, Mazier stated. Bill C-288 is truly a pro-consumer bill that will improve Canada's telecommunications sector. I am proud to have worked with all parliamentarians to get where we are. What happens now? The next step in the process for Bill C-288 will be discussion by the Standing Committee on Industry and Technology. Once the bill makes it through the committee stage, it will be sent back to the House of Commons for further votes. If the legislation passes those required stages, Bill C-288 will be sent from the Senate for final approval. And Plumas Game and Fish Big Buck Night, open deer head competition, 1 deer head per person only, will take place on Saturday, December 17th in the Plumas Hall, starting at 7 p.m. Admission is $12 and lunch will be served. And an article by Owen Devereaux. It's all about the socializing. A special festive event in Neepawa is hoping to ensure no one will feel left out this holiday season. Jingle and Mingle, a community Christmas gathering, is currently being arranged for December 24th at the Arts Forward Cultural Centre between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Excuse me. Marvin Beaumont is one of the individuals involved with the Neepawa Christmas Dinner Committee who are planning the special gathering. He said that for this year, it will be more of an informal get-together with holiday treats, tea and coffee, as opposed to a full Christmas Day dinner. He said it's being done this way quite on purpose. The Christmas dinner that we've had in previous years was set up to feed people and to have a social gathering. But in our discussions and planning around this, we found that the food wasn't as important as the social aspect. Though that is really what we decided to focus on this year, said Beaumont. It's open to everyone in the community, specifically targeting for those who might be by themselves during the holidays, for one reason or another. It's an opportunity for them to get out and socialize with other people. The event will feature entertainment, as members of the Living Hope Church from Eden have committed to staging a 20-minute program. Beaumont said there will also be a fun mix of activities planned, as well as time for visiting. It's all about socializing. At this time of year, it's very important to have that type of camaraderie, the chance to come together. We're hoping that this will fill a gap, stated Beaumont. Some volunteers are still needed to help with setup and teardown at Arts Forward on the day of. Anyone interested is asked to contact Marvin at 476-2786 or Brian Elgert at 476-2779. As for travel to the location, Home Assistance Neepawa District, HAND, has offered assistance with transport to Arts Forward at no charge. Craft sale brings crowd out to Onanol. A craft sale held in Onanol on December 3rd brought in many curious shoppers. A variety of home and handmade goods were available for purchase, including knitted mittens, pickles, and much more. Submitted by the Banner staff, a 19-year-old youth is dead after a multi-vehicle accident near Minnedosa. On Sunday, December 4th, at around 12:15 a.m., Neepawa RCMP responded to a collision on Highway 16 at the junction of Highway 10 in the rural municipality of Minto O'Donnell. The initial investigation has determined that a vehicle was going west on Highway 16 when crossed the center line and collided with the semi-truck heading east. The driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, a 19-year-old male from the RM of North Cypress Langford, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle, a semi-truck, was a 39-year-old man from Winnipeg. Police report that this individual received only minor physical injuries and was treated on the scene. As of Monday, December 5th, the Neepawa RCMP, along with a forensic collision reconstructionist, were continuing to investigate. Dauphin Swan River Neepawa riding to be renamed for next federal election. Submitted by Owen Devereaux. The federal riding of Dauphin Swan River Neepawa will soon be no more. On Wednesday, December 7th, CBC Manitoba reported that as part of a nationwide evaluation of political boundaries, the riding known as Dauphin Swan River Neepawa will be renamed Riding Mountain. This change will come into effect just in time for any election that takes place after April 1st, 2024. The suggested change was made in Federal Electoral Boundaries Commission's final report for Manitoba. This is one of two suggested changes in Manitoba for the next federal election, as the riding currently known as Charleswood, St. James, Assiniboia, Headingley will be renamed Winnipeg West. Along with the new name, Riding Mountain will also see its boundaries changed, as it will stretch further southeast to encompass the Long Plain First Nation, as well as the towns of Treeherne and Rathwell. The Commission's final report, along with a graphic representation of the changes, can be seen online. And light up this holiday season and add a warm glow by helping out the Neepawa District Palliative Care Program. Contribute $5 in memory of a loved one. As you contribute, your memorial can be viewed in the window of Harris Pharmacy. The memory tree will be located at Mountain Avenue and Davidson Street, downtown Neepawa. Drop off your contribution at one of these Neepawa locations: the Neepawa Hospital, It's Time Fashion and Gifts, the Neepawa Banner and Press, Home Hardware, Neepawa Pharmacy, and Harris Pharmacy. And submitted by Casper Wareham. Dr. Ankit Sharma opens Gladstone Family Dental Clinic. Humans are social creatures, utilizing a variety of social tools. But perhaps the most remarkable of those tools, according to Dr. Ankit Sharma, is our smile. Dr. Sharma lives and works in the dentistry field in Winnipeg, with a now freshly opened practice in Gladstone as well. His Gladstone practice, Gladstone Family Dental, officially opened on October 31st and is located in the Gladstone Health Center at 21 Mill Street. A dentist friend of mine mentioned Gladstone to me, that the community needed a dentist, and people seeking dental work are forced to travel far, said Dr. Sharma. He mentioned that seniors and people who don't drive are facing challenges to get dental assistance too. That's what inspired me to open my own office here. Dr. Sharma added, I am always passionate about dentistry because it is one of the few fields that combines creativity, science, detail orientation, and patient interaction. It allows me to help people in improving their oral and overall health and restore their confidence in themselves. Dr. Sharma finished a Bachelor of Dental Surgery from India in 2015 before moving to Canada for further education. His Canadian education and licensing was completed in 2019, with Dr. Sharma going on to acquire a dental license from the Royal College of Dental Surgeons of Ontario in 2020. After acquiring his license, Dr. Sharma noted that there were multiple job opportunities all across Canada. However, he was drawn to Winnipeg, where he's now been practicing for a bit more than 2 years at Clarity Dental. Winnipeg intrigued me with the balanced life, Dr. Sharma explained. In addition, I always wanted to live closer to my friends and family in Manitoba. Gladstone Family Dental is open on Monday and Tuesdays from 9:30 to 5 p.m. with Medea Abbas on hand as a dental assistant, Gerline Carr is the manager, and Ethel Roots, receptionist. The Gladstone Family Dental team told the Banner and Press in a final comment, "We are empathetic, transparent, and compassionate about what we do. Dr. Sharma enjoys treating patients of all ages, with his scope of dental expertise encompassing procedures such as root canals, surgical tooth extractions, restorative crown and bridge treatments, removable dentures, and Invisaligns. The clinic is currently accepting new patients." So that is very good news for Gladstone. Spruce Plains RCMP in new station in Neepawa. Submitted by the Banner staff. The Banner and Press would like to extend congratulations to the Spruce Plains RCMP detachment in Neepawa. As reported in the November 11th edition of this paper, the RCMP were able to hold a grand opening on November 4th for their brand new facility. Located on a portion of land directly south of the town's current fire hall, the new station has modern amenities and accommodations to meet current standards. As well, plenty of space. The new building is a bit over double the size of the old 200 Mill Street location, which had been built in 1987. This project was able to come together through years of collaboration, with talks between the RCMP and the town of Neepawa beginning in 2000. The parties discussed policing issues relevant to Neepawa and the need for a new building. 18 years later, an agreement in principle was put forward and the groups proceeded with a partnership for a 25-year detachment lease. From there, further discussion, planning, and design took place. Fast forward to April 6, 2021, and a crew comprised of Councillor Daryl Gerard, Deputy Mayor Brian Headley, Mayor Blake McCutcheon, Councillor Murray Parrott, RCMP Staff Sergeant Mark Moorhouse, Spruce Plains RCMP Area Commander Colby Argue, and RCMP D Division Superintendent Jim Mirza were on the scene for the groundbreaking. The hands-on work began, that final step progressing steadily in order to make the new location a reality. In Neepawa's early days, a local police force was formed in 1884. This force consisted of 1 constable, expanding to 2 in 1932, and then 4 after 1951. After considering a switch to the RCMP for policing services for several years, the move was finally made in 1969 when more officers became available. Now, 53 years later, dedicated Spruce Plains RCMP staff continue to serve Neepawa and the surrounding area. And we, our residents, are very thankful. Owen Devereaux got the sports column. Neepawa proved to be an incredible host. Neepawa Area Collegiate Institute hosts the AAA Provincial Girls Volleyball Championship. Neepawa has proven it deserves to be part of one of the top tiers of high school athletics with its recent efforts both on and off the court. Last weekend, NACI hosted the AAA Senior Girls Volleyball Championship. The event featured 12 premier teams from across Manitoba, with games played at both NACI gym as well as the Neepawa Middle School gym. For the Neepawa Tigers, they went undefeated in the round-robin portion of the event. They defeated the R.D. Parker team from Thompson, the R.D. Parker Trojans from Thompson. They defeated the Springfield Sabres from Oakbank and the Churchill Bulldogs from Winnipeg. After securing first place in Pool 3, the Tigers then bested the Northlands Parkway Nighthawks from Winkler in the playoffs. Then in the quarterfinals, Neepawa faced the challenge of the Westgate Wings from Winnipeg. Though the Tigers put up a solid effort, they eventually fall by the score of 25-15 and 25-13. The Wings would ultimately sweep the weekend, winning the provincial championship over the Bellevue Barracudas, also from Winnipeg. Hosting an event of this size and significance was huge for Neepawa Collegiate, as they are still relatively new to the AAA level of volleyball. As well, the majority of AAA teams are located in Winnipeg or other urban areas. So the Tigers, unfortunately, rarely get the chance to compete against them consistently during the regular season. NACI Tiger coach Kurt Allen said these results go a long way towards establishing NACI as a credible host and a credible threat. We won our pool. We crossed over into the second pool, and we came away with a great win over Winkler. We went into that as underdogs, but won that match in 2 straight sets. Then we faced the #1 ranked team in the province in Westgate. Though we didn't come away with the win, we did put up the most points against them of any team in the tournament. So that was good for our team. They faced the best competitor that was possible and stepped up and showed everyone that they could compete. We finished the tournament 5th overall, so we were right up there, said Allen. The local conveners of the tournament were Allen, as well as Don Birch and Mike Rainey. They, along with several other local volunteers, are to thank for the smooth operation of the weekend. Rainey said that everyone involved is thankful for the chance to serve as host to such a major event. It was our first provincial championship. We got a lot of positive feedback from the teams about how things went. We're thankful for Neepawa Middle School for their involvement. They hosted several games as well during the tournament. That went really well. I think now that it's all said and done, everyone had a positive experience, win or lose, said Rainey. Another huge positive from the event involved the response from the students of NACI. All the games, even those not involving the Tigers, were full of Neepawa students supporting the players. Westgate Wings coach Jules Martins told the Banner and Press that the atmosphere here during the tournament was incredible. Neepawa really did an amazing job hosting the tournament. From the tournament dinner to the organization of the games to just the students showing up and being loud, it was so impressive. Everyone took notice of it and appreciated it. Neepawa proved to be an incredible host, stated Martins. Well done, NACI. And continuing on with sports, by Owen Devereaux, Stampeders trip up the Titans. Swan Valley defeated Neepawa in pair of weekend games. A pair of games recently between the Neepawa Titans and Swan Valley Stampeders appear to have proven that the separation in skill between these two clubs is razor thin. Unfortunately, another key element, those little incidentals that turn good teams into great ones, leaned very much in Swan Valley's favor. The Stampeders left Neepawa last weekend with a pair of huge wins, defeating the Titans by identical 5-4 scores. The first win was a come-from-behind victory in regulation, while the second came in overtime. Those results pushed Swan Valley into first place, while Neepawa remains in fifth place with a record of 11, 13, 5, and 1, good enough for 28 points in 30 games. In the Friday, December 2nd game, Neepawa headed into the third period with a 3-1 lead. Arguably, it could be said that the Titans had played their best 20 minutes all season in that second period. The third, however, was a different story, as the Stamps found a new level, scoring 4 straight goals, including 3 in a 1-minute, 18-second span. Ooh, ouch. The Titans replied late with one of their own, but fell in a stunning turn of events. Neepawa went 4 for 8 on the power play in this game, with Hayden Stocks scoring twice and Braden McCulchuk and Carter McLeod adding the other ones. Neepawa put up an impressive 49 shots, but the Stamps goaltender, Kobe Grant, stopped 45. On Saturday, December 3rd, these two teams battled once again. On this night, it was Swan Valley who went into the third period with the 2-goal cushion, leading 4-2. Neepawa proved its resolve by scoring twice to send it into overtime. Unfortunately, a late goal in the 5-minute OT session gave the Stampeders the extra point in the standings. Parker Corman, Cade Benston, Braden McCulchuk, and Briley Wood all scored for the Titans. Next for Neepawa will be an important weekend in the Paw against the OCN Blizzard. The Titans will play 3 games up north before returning home to face the Winnipeg Blues on December 6th at the Yellowhead Center. And a pair of Titans receive the MJHL accolades. The recent turnaround of the Neepawa Titans has not gone unnoticed around the Manitoba Junior Hockey League, as a pair of players have been acknowledged. First, there was Mason Lowbro, who was named MJHL's Goaltender of the Month for November. The 18-year-old from Brandon played 7 games last month, winning 5. His goals against average was a stellar 1.57, while his save percentage stood up as an impressive 0.950%. Meanwhile, forward Hayden Stocks was named one of MJHL's Star of the Week. Stocks has been a big contributor to the Titans' success, with the team closing in on the final playoff position in the Western Division standings. In 3 games last week, the 19-year-old from Edmonton had 2 goals and 2 assists. Over his last 11 games, Stocks has scored 8 goals and 9 assists. Congratulations to both Lowbro and Stocks on their recent recognition. And continuing with hockey, Farmers win a pair of weekend games. The new-look Neepawa Farmers are starting to find their stride out on the ice in the Tiger Hills Hockey League. This year's team features several brand new players in the lineup, as many veterans of the roster have decided to step back from the squad in 2022. After a bit of a bumpy start to the season, those fresh faces are starting to come together as a team, and they picked up a pair of wins over the weekend as a result. The first victory was a dominant 10-2 decision over the McGregor Wild on Friday, December 2nd. Forward Jagger Lapointe, who's in his first year with the Farmers, he was the key contributor on the night with 4 goals and an assist. David Woolman, who's just in his second year with the team, also added a pair of goals to the stat line. Veteran of the roster, 27-year-old Kyle McDonald, also had a multi-point performance with a goal and 3 assists. McDonald leads the team in points with 23, 9 goals and 14 assists. Other goal scorers were Ben Ranka, 1 goal, 1 assist, Shane Byram, 1 goal, and Dylan Birch. Top prospects commit to Neepawa Titans. The Neepawa Titans have secured the playing rights to a pair of their top young prospects, as Ty Shell and Rylan Bray have signed letters of intent for the 2023-24 MJHL season. Shell currently plays for the under-18 Southwest Cougars and has 8 points in 25 games. The 16-year-old left winger from Souris was the Titans' first-round pick and 7th overall selection in the 2022 MJHL draft. In a press release confirming the signing, Titans head coach and general manager Ken Pearson said there's a lot of upside to Shell's style of play. We are very excited to officially add Ty to our organization for next season. With Ty, we get a player that has a good shot, competes every shift, along with being a good skater, stated Pearson. Shell, meanwhile, expressed his pleasure with signing with Neepawa, adding that I'm very excited to sign with this organization. To be able to play in front of my family, friends, and a community who supports this team. I look forward to being a part of the community. I can't wait to pull on a jersey and be a Titan. The other commitment sees Neepawa's Rylan Bray sign with the Titans. The defenseman was an auto-protected player by Neepawa in the 2022 MJHL draft. He currently plays with the under-18 Yellowhead Chiefs and has 7 assists in 10 games since his return from an injury suffered in the preseason. Pearson said the team is excited to add Rylan to the organization for next season. Rylan played well in the exhibition season with us. With him, we get a player who competes every shift, along with being a good skater. We look forward to his continued development with the Chiefs and their staff the rest of the year, Pearson noted. Bray, meanwhile, stated that he was very thankful and excited for this opportunity to play in front of his hometown. The Neepawa Titans Junior A Hockey Club Come on out to the Neepawa Yellowhead Center and cheer on the team. Neepawa Titans regular season home games, December 16th at 7:30 versus the Winnipeg Blues, and December 20th at 7:30 versus Waywacy Capo. And don't forget their 2022 cash draws. Final draws Tuesday, December 20th at 8 p.m. Deadline for ticket sales Tuesday, December 20th, 7:45 p.m. All draws will take place at the Yellowhead Center in Neepawa. And we have 2 obituaries in the December 9th paper. John Laley Lewis. It is with heavy hearts that we announce the sudden death of John Lewis on November 26, 2022, at the age of 72 in St. Boniface Hospital, Winnipeg. He will be lovingly remembered by his wife Heather, of 41 years, daughter Lindsay, Frank, sons Wesley, Chelsea, and Bradley, Cassandra. 7 grandchildren, Kesden and Mazikeen, Aisley, Olivia, and Raglan Copeland, and Ren, his mom Jean, 3 brothers, Bob, wife Donna, Phil, wife Pam, and Stuart, wife Colleen, sister Nancy, husband Nick, sister-in-law Joan, Lois, and Jeanette, husband Jack, brothers-in-law Jim, wife Lorna, George, wife Denise, Ferg, wife Denelda, and Dawn. Numerous nieces and nephews, and many cousins. He was predeceased by his father, William, and a sister-in-law, Yvonne, as well as many aunts and uncles. John was a fun-loving, energetic man who cared deeply for his family, friends, and the community. He will be greatly missed and has left a deep hole in all of our hearts. He had a great passion for the farm, the teaching profession, rock and gold excursions, travel, sports, and volunteering. Cremation has taken place, and a celebration of his life will be held in the Minnedosa Community Conference Center on December 14th at 1:30 p.m. Should you so desire, donations can be made to MREC, Box 1425, Minnedosa, or to Stars Air Ambulance, White's Funeral Home, in care of arrangements. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Millen Russell Johnston on November 29, 2022, at the Carberry Care Center at the age of 88. He will be lovingly remembered by his wife Mona, of 64 years, son Dallas, wife Lynn, and grandson Ryan, and great-grandkids Kea and Violet, granddaughter Candace, husband Atlee Abbey, and great-grandkids Acklin, Asen, and Kavli, son Daryl, wife Karen, and grandson Tyler, wife Sarah, and great-grandkids Carter and Brooks. Granddaughter Raylene, daughter Lori, and grandsons Garrett and Luke. Also sister Glennis Danielson and brother-in-law Charles Swanson, along with many nieces and nephews. Millen met Mona in Binsgarth and married in 1958. In 1966, they moved with their 3 kids to Winnipeg. A strong believer in 4-H, he participated in his younger years and still supported in his later years. Millen loved all types of livestock, especially cattle. As well, he was an accomplished trainer and handler of retrievers. He was asked to judge the National Retriever Championship. Millen took great pride in watching his grandkids and great-grandkids in their sports, 4-H beef clubs, and cattle shows. Having many years of experience with cattle, Millen passed along many tips of the trade to his grandkids and great-grandkids. Millen's greatest pride was his family. Millen loved the farm, and with Mona, they moved to Brookdale onto her family farm. In 1998, Dallas and family moved to the farm, with Millen and Mona moving to Neepawa in 2006. Family graveside ceremony, Wednesday, December 7th at 1 p.m. Brookdale Cemetery followed by a celebration of life at 2 p.m. at the Brookdale Community Center. In lieu of flowers, memorial donations can be made to Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation in support of Profile, White's Funeral Home in care of arrangements. A blue Christmas service is planned for December 21st. A blue Christmas service is a way to acknowledge the pain which the Advent and Christmas seasons cause some people. The emphasis at Christmas and the time leading up to Christmas are filled with family, joy, giving, and good cheer. This can be very difficult for those who have experienced a loss of someone through death, through relocation, or a broken relationship. During COVID-19, a number of people have experienced mental health issues, or they live with depression or other illnesses. Others may have lost their job, or with inflation, they have little money for giving, or some of whom addictions make the emphasis on parties very stressful. Life in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, many people are keenly aware of how lives have been turned upside down as we live with a new normal. Blue Christmas services are held on December 21st, the longest night, and may be referred to the dark night of the soul, which many people experience at this time of year. A blue Christmas service or a longest night service will be held on December 21st at 7 p.m. at Knox Presbyterian Church, sponsored by the Neepawa Ministerial. Following the short service, there will be a time of conversation and light refreshments in the hall, at which time, if you are needing someone to speak to, you are welcome to speak to any of the ministers. This service is adopted from the Whole People of God Blue Christmas 2021, copyright Wood Lake Publishing, Blue Christmas Service. And Quentin Blair lights up the Legion. Manitoba musician Quentin Blair and his band members put on a great Christmas show at the Neepawa Legion Hall on December 1st. This concert was part of the Kaleidoscope concert series. Little Mermaid Jr. is ready to make a splash in Neepawa. The final dress rehearsals for the NACI theater production of The Little Mermaid Jr. took place earlier this week. Performances will be at the Roxy Theater starting tonight, December 8th, and they go till December 10th. And lights dazzle in Gladstone. Lights have been dazzling the Gladstone community recently as people have been well prepared for the holidays. Pictured above, the Gladstone home has a brilliant display set up featuring deer, snowmen, and more. And below, the truck was one of the many floats featured in Gladstone's Santa Claus parade recently. And on our last page, Shop Neepawa Hometown Contest. 5,600 in prizes. And the draw will take place on Monday, December 12th. And there are many, many businesses in town a part of this Shop Neepawa Hometown. So support your local businesses this season, and don't forget to put your name in for the draw to win prizes of $1,500, $1,000, $500, plus $2,600 in extra prizes. Visit any of the participating merchants for an entry form and entry details. Method of entry may vary. Shop Hometown is jointly sponsored by the Neepawa Chamber of Commerce, the Neepawa Banner and Press, and the local businesses shown on this page. And that's your paper, the Neepawa Banner and Press for Friday, December 9th, 2022. I'm Linda Dick, and I'm signing off. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week.